Which is supposed to be. This is White Raven over here. Today's Monday, so happy Magic Monday to all of you guys. How are you, witches? How was your last week? Thank you so very much for all the support, all the love, especially for the video last week. That was pretty wicked video. Let me tell you, my entire week was very strange, just to put a name on it, for lack of better words. I experienced a lot of... I don't like the word paranormal because I feel like that's very mundane, but I felt, and throughout my weeks I had some strange encounters after the video on Monday. And listen, it's September now. The veil is getting really thin. We're getting really close to Samhain, or Halloween for most people. So I truly believe that our dead like to visit us all the time, and they're with you a lot of the time, and here and there and everywhere. They like to give you signs and reminders that you're not alone in this world and that you have support around you. Now, many of you guys, which is something that is one of my pet peeves and is very frustrating to me, every time something paranormal happened in this room, I think this is the third time that I filmed something that, that I cut on video, something that happened in my room. And sometimes many of you guys blame that immediately to something bad and to something evil. Listen, witches, I don't see eye to eye with you in that topic. I think I have a lot of spirits that visit me because I welcome them. I like them. I like when they come and they visit me, and I have no problems with them. And in all the years that I have been a witch, I'm yet to find a scary experience ever in my life. I have shared with you guys in a video here in my YouTube channel my experience with an imp. And even at that moment, that creature, that being never really inspired fear on me. I have absolutely no problems with all the spirits that want to come in and out in my house. My best friend is actually a medium, and I know who's here. I know who visits, and I know what to do. So please, if you are a witch and you are living, you live a life doing magic, performing magic, understand. And again, this comes with no animosity. But just because you have spiritual beings around you, that does not necessarily mean that they are bad. And that's going to take me to another topic that I want to discuss with you guys. I've been receiving really awesome emails. I guess it's just the right time. With questions about ancestors and ancestry, how to honor your ancestors. And a lot of people do not know how to go about honoring their ancestors. Maybe this is a video that I'm going to get into it eventually, especially now that we're so close to Samhain. But you honor your ancestors by remembering their life, by trying to learn how they lived their life when they were actually alive. In a corner of this room, I have a little shrine for all my ancestors. I have pictures in there of some of my ancestors, not all of them. I put a glass with water, and I like to honor them as much as I can. I like to give them flowers. I like to bring stuff that I knew they like, and I put in their little shrine. And then once a year in Samhain, I will do a supper, which I shared with you guys a recipe last year of one of the suppers that I made last year. A stew that was really good. So check out my videos because I put the recipe in there. And this is how I honor my ancestors. So a lot of people ask me, White Raven, how do you communicate with your ancestors? The best way that I communicate with my ancestor is through my dreams. So before you go into bed, you invite your ancestors to give you any type of messages that they're going to give you. Now, you have to be very stern, and you also want to make sure that when you invite your ancestors and the spiritual world to come into your dreams, you also are very stern, and you're going to make sure that no being with any type of negativity of evil is allowed in your realms, in your dreams. The beautiful thing about your ancestors, witches, is that the more attached and the more communication you establish with your ancestors or with any spirits around you, they will protect you on the spiritual realm, meaning they will be the first ones that will take care of lower level entities trying to wiggle themselves into your dreams. So it's a great idea for you to start working with your ancestors. Listen, we're going to have ancestors all the way till the beginning of humanity. And there's many of them that you have no idea who they are. I live in the United States, and I was lucky enough to do 23andMe. And I know the blood and the DNA that runs in my body. And I know who some of those ancestors were. But curiously enough, prior of me knowing through 23andMe my DNA, I was already attached to a specific cultures. Like you guys know, I'm Puerto Rican, so my African culture is very alive within me. My Taino, which is native culture, is very alive within me. And those are two type of bloods that I have running through my veins that I'm very attached to, and they really form who I am. In other words, which is try to dig and learn about where you come from. And the reason I'm saying this is because back to the video last Monday, many of you guys were emailing me stating that what I had over here was bad because I have Ouija boards. Listen, I have a whole wall full with Ouija boards. You guys know that I have my black screen mirror in here, and many of you guys were assuming that what was visiting me was something bad. Oh, you have to do cleansing. Oh, you have. Listen, witches, I live a witch life. I'm not doing just videos. This is what I breathe. This is what I dream. This is what I talk about. This is what I digest and eat every day is witchcraft. I am very aware of my surroundings. I have knowledge in what I'm doing, and I have a purpose of every single thing that I do. And yes, I have rituals for cleansing and protection. I don't leave alive just doing a video and then forgetting about witchcraft until next Monday. That's not how my life works. Not only that, I have a very close relationship with my ancestors. And I'm yet to see a bad experience in my life. So I'm going to leave it here. If you have any questions, you can email me at layerofthewitch@yahoo.com. I'm also going to put a timestamp on this video in the beginning of the video, just in case you want to jump just into what we're going to talk about today. But I thought this was something really important for me to discuss today. Thank you. Okay, witches, today I have for you a recipe for cemetery dirt substitute. Now, I know many of you guys are going to jump and they're going to say, and I agree with you, that there could not be any type of substitute to cemetery dirt. That is something that you can't substitute. There's nothing in this world that is going to substitute cemetery dirt. Hang in there, witches. Hold on one baby second. When it comes to cemetery dirt, we have to take into consideration a few things. And this video is going to be dedicated to you. Okay? So if you're a person that you do not like going to cemeteries, when I live in Puerto Rico, I have a best friend that was a phenomenal badass witch, and she will never go to the cemetery. I used to go for her because she could not go to cemeteries. If you are mourning, if you think it's unethical to get dirt from a cemetery, if the laws in your community are really strict about picking any type of cemetery dirt, then this recipe is for you. Now, the idea behind this recipe is for you to charge the 3 ingredients that we're going to use for this recipe in order to have that little mix have some type of energy that relates or imitates the energy that we get when we get cemetery dirt. I hope you follow me. But before I go into the recipe, I want to also specify something. And this is about correspondences. Many times when I'm sharing a video with you guys, you ask me about White Raven, what is a good substitution for so-and-so herb in your spell recipe? Listen, witches, many times I'm not going to be able to give you a good substitute for the ingredients that I have in a particular recipe. And the reason behind this is because some of these ingredients do not follow the rule when it comes to correspondences. And let me explain myself. Sometimes a specific herb in a recipe has absolutely nothing to do with what the correspondences of that particular herb, root, flower is. And that's because witches, sometimes ingredients are based on tradition, are based on sympathetic magic, are based on what the person that came out with this spell for the first time had around them. So for many of these recipes, there is absolutely no substitute. The recipe that we are getting today belongs to the hoodoo tradition. It is not my recipe, so I cannot tell you what are substitutes for the ingredients that we are going to use today. If you only have 2 ingredients, then by all means use those 2 ingredients. If you only have 1 ingredient, then you're going to use that 1 ingredient. And if you don't have any of the ingredients, please don't invent something just because you want to do something. If you don't have these ingredients, then don't do this at all. The recipe that I'm sharing with you guys today comes from this book, 365 Days of Hoodoo. I strongly recommend that you get this book and give some of this author some love, this is by Stephanie Rose Bird. When I share books in here with you, witches, I am enjoying these books. I really like them. And if you want to expand your library, that is a book that you want to have, because knowledge is power. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, White Raven, I am white, so they say that if you're white, you're not supposed to practice religions that don't pertain to you. Listen, it doesn't matter what color you are. If you're white, you're yellow, you're brown, you're black. You do not want to follow any religion, tradition, or path that you are not going to respect. If you are willing and dedicated and committed to honor the path that you are following, by all means, put your heart and mind and soul into it. And that's all I'm going to say about this. Okay, witches, there's going to be 3 ingredients for this recipe. And these ingredients are going to be mullein. We're going to be needing a little bit of mullein. Okay, witches, next we're going to be needing some cayenne pepper. Last, we're going to need tobacco. It's very important that we get tobacco for this recipe. Okay, witches, you also are going to need a wood container, just like this one. Something that you can mix your stuff inside. And last but not least, you're going to need a glass bottle, because you want to store the mix that we make today in a glass bottle. Which is, before you go out and you go into your backyard to see if you have some mullein, or you go into the market and buy some of the ingredients, or you go into Amazon or into anywhere in Google to order your herbs, take a second to close your eyes and make a little chant. And it's going to go something like this. Earth Mama, I honor you. I seek your gifts. Through them, share your knowledge with me. So mote it be. Hi, witches. Welcome to my garden. So once you have all your ingredients for your recipe, you're going to either do one of 2 things. You're going to go in your kitchen and you're going to sit in the floor in your kitchen, and you need to be close to your stove, and you're going to prepare your mix in there. Otherwise, you can go outside and you're going to prepare the mix outside in our garden. So I have over here my little wooden container. I also have over here a little teaspoon because I'm going to put equal parts of everything in my mix. So I have the little wood container between my legs right here. I have my little spoon over here. So if you want to sit in the ground, you can sit in the ground. I'm sitting in my little butterfly benches. And we're going to add the ingredients. At the same time that we're adding the ingredients, we're also going to be chanting a chant. In honor of the ancestors and those who have passed, open the way. Okay, witches, grab your teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and while you put it in your bowl, you're going to recite, yield your power unto this bowl. Last but not least, witches, you're going to have your teaspoon of tobacco. You're going to breathe on it. And you're going to chant. For all you hold, share, and yield, I honor you, blessed be. Add your tobacco to your mix. Remember to visualize that this is going to be a substitute for cemetery dirt, witches. So make sure that when you're mixing this powder, you're thinking about what this is supposed to be. Okay, witches, since we're here, let's just finish this video over here. The next thing that you're going to do, you need your glass container. And you're going to transfer your powder into the glass container. So you're going to build this powder and mix this powder in the wood container, and then you're going to transfer it to the glass container. It's going to look something like this. You're more than welcome to put this in a grinder and make it even finer than this. And if you do not have the cayenne pepper ready powder, you can buy the cayenne peppers. Now, witches, it's really important that we bury this bottle. Bury it outside in your garden or put it inside a pot with fresh dirt. You are going to bury this in the waxing of the moon. If you don't have a backyard, then put it in that pot with dirt and put it by your windowsill in the waxing of the moon. Once that is done, your substitute is ready for all your magical endeavors. And that's it, witches. Please remember to email me at layerofthewitch@yahoo.com if you have any questions. Please visit my social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. And go visit my website, whiteraven.witcheslayer.com. It is always awesome talking to you, witches. You must stay very smart, but above all, witches, you must stay so very wicked. Bye.